think it goes something like this. It's a longer way to run, but it's so much fun. Fun will make the longer way around. You can take a short haircut. Ass is quicker, but fun will take the longer way around. Ooh, what will fun do? That's in that Parliament Funkadelic. It's getting good to me. uh, May the power of blue argonite propel you. May the power of blue argonite propel you. May the power of blue argonite propel you. And we give you the Verge energy, baby, so we can cut through ignorance. I want you to give you the ability of the thunderbolt to cut through ignorance. And I also send the full power of it. The full power of it. So this is the Verge. It came like this. It ain't really crossed. This the directions like this. And we give you the full motion, the full power of the Verger. As I've shown each and every night, I might as well show this too, because that's sweet too. That's some shit you can get lost in. You can make that go up or down. You can get lost in that kind of thing. But it's good lost. Of course, we give you the harmonics of the Verges as well. This is real stuff, guys. Some science shit. Get a little light on the subject. Well, welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am Big Pontiac. I think this might take a little edge off. Yes, that helped tremendously. And this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. This is my host, Nobody's Fool, or co-host, I guess, Nobody's Fool. At some point, he will be telling you his opinions, but not at this point. I am the holder of the sacred infinite ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am the one and only Galactic Daddy. Welcoming each and all of the Chocolate Mountaineers to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the far out unknown regions of thought, space. And tonight we are still doing it big with Founders Porter. So pop them if you got them. And as any porter, you know you're going to get amber goodness. And I have the 1970s logo Detroit Applebee's cup that you do not have, that you wish you did have. And right now you just looking like, I wish I was him right now, having that delicious ambrosia in the 1970s logo Detroit. And I am still on the edible herbs, vegetarian. And let me tell you a little news about this. So they passed a law. They've banned all the good shit here. They've banned all the good edibles. They've breaking everything down to 0.25%. Right now, there's a point you could get 100 grams. They're taking all that away. People really was looking at this as a win, and it's, in a way, it's not. So right now, they're trying to get rid of all their inventory. So I found some good 2-for-1 deals. So, yeah. But, welcome, everybody. Lobo. Hey, Lobo, find that bank shot. Find the bank shot on the game against OKC and Orlando, because that shot, you could clearly see that shot was manipulated. I went in the cities today. I was playing pickleball with my best friend, and so took my daughter up there. He has a daughter the same age, and so we was watching the game at his place, so I really couldn't do any film on it or anything. So I was hoping when they showed the replay, they was gonna show it, and they didn't. And say like they showed the bogus play where it was clearly a foul, and then you can see this is even how ESPN, they present it, but this is even shows you how fake it is. There's angles that show dude when he got fouled on his tip dunk, they showed he got fouled. There was an angle that came from the camera angle that was above the rim, and it showed when they went to that angle, it showed he got hit on the hand. Now, when they cut to the referees was looking at that angle. That's all they had to look at. It wasn't nothing else to look at but that high angle where a dude hits him on the hand. But, of course, they try to show an angle to back the refs. So I don't know if y'all caught that. And look at the dude who won that game. I'm going to release a still shot of him. Of watching the way that dude move. And, again, my background is looking at details. Noticing ticks. I've always noticed strides of people, and that dude was running the same way Brittany was running. I know the hairstyle, everybody say what a hairstyle, but the still shot I have, one arm, looks like it's fake. It looks like some type of padding in here. I don't know. I was even looking at the hand, but that one arm, and you can compare both arms. One arm looked different than the other arm. I'll show the still and you guys see. So all that Brittany stuff, they're gonna release Brittany to the butcher. Brittany make way more money over there. So who you think they want? They want her over there. You don't think they keep her over there and let her hoop? Why wouldn't they let her hoop? I said before, Wild World of Sports. At one time, Ron Lyle was in prison. They showed 3 or 4 Ron Lyle's fights in prison. Then Mike Tyson go to prison, which is perfect for working out. Never fights one time. Same was supposedly with Michael Vick. You got a year on your hands, and you just got a chance to work out. You telling me you couldn't take footballs in there? couldn't hung a tire from a pipe or some shit. It don't work like that. That's the place where if you got to work out, it's you got time to work out. So that's what made me look at Mike Tyson like, wait a minute, how you ain't in shape in there? In bad publicity. But PJ Allen, what is happening? Brother James, how are you? Courtney. Okay. Thank you for coming. JT, what's happening? Yeah, Lobo is the man. Lobo is the man. Nice equipment, everything. Yeah, check out that bank shot. That bank shot is definitely suspect. When I watched it, I was like, oh, damn. And they, they keep showing it, too. And they did not show it for the highlights. Hey, Conspiracy University, I got to watch your video. But, like, now I'm watching videos that work. I listen to them at work while I'm working. There was a bank shot one of them Kings players hit today, too. Keegan actually hit 2 deep threes. Hey, Soap, how you doing? Thank you, Joanne. I heard somebody talk about it. I didn't see it. What's his name showed it? The dude that don't like Zach. I forget whatever his thing is called, but he showed it. Yep. But I've said before, you can look on Amazon right now. As you watching me, you can look on Amazon, and Amazon sells retrievable balls. So many people losing balls with the rough, so they've been had retrievable balls. I mean, it's that, like, you turn the ball right on, it's on your phone. You bring that sucker right back to you. Hey, yeah. Thank you for the kind words. Let's talk the spiritual today. Yeah. Simple Truth TV. Yeah, Simple Truth TV showed that. So yeah. Yeah, and really I didn't see it. I'll be honest, I didn't see it. They were showing the highlights. They were showing the highlights of him still playing. So that's how I kind of knew what you're talking about. Like, okay, I was putting that all together. Yep, Simple Truth. Yeah, he showed it. So I'm pretty sure that's what he showed. So, the world is so good. The world is so good, yo. You want to get out and play? See how energies is moving today? Let's have some fun. Any haters watching me right now? Any haters? Any haters out there? Oh, look at the biggest. That's definitely yes. There's haters out there? Oh, my goodness. It's a definite yes. Okay, well, we don't mind haters. So I don't know. I'm going to release that picture. Y'all check it out. Tell me what you think. Looks like Brittany Griner. Moves like Brittany Griner. I don't know. Is the impossible possible tonight? Is the impossible possible tonight? Okay, there's energy there. It ain't really answering the question because it's a silly question. All right. Trying to find my balance. All right. Keep the spiritual tools busy. Kind of got a little grid in my own kind of way around me. And I'll say how, like, you can even draw little grids for yourself, can be whatever you want to draw. Again, you can kind of, it's like a sigil almost. But with crystal grids, you can kind of channel energy through them. It's a little boy that does one with crystals, and he builds a grid, and he tells you how the energy moves through each crystal and how. And it's kind of clever. I mean, however he was given that information, it's kind of clever, but it's the same way. Been struggling as of late to really be in the now and not worry about all this other. How do you keep grounded in today's age? I mean, really one of the first things to do for that, to get out the blues, is truly grounding, is going out. And I mean, if you have water, step in the water. If you just got dirt, step in dirt. That's a good way to reconnect. As I said before, my son was kind of going through that same thing a few months ago. And And the way I would say is I've said this before, and I said this last night. The way you really have to understand all this to keep your mind rational, because as you become more logical, the thing that we look don't doesn't seem rational. And so it goes back to where, when the little boy, they was like, bend the spoon, because they used to show people on 60 Minutes could just look at the spoon and the spoon would bend. And so Neil's giving the spoon, and Neil can't do shit. The little boy, like in front of him, the little boy bent the spoon came back up. He bent it, and then he made it come back up. And the little boy said, it's impossible to bend the spoon with your mind. You have to understand that the spoon ain't really there. Then move it. Now, what that means is, if you run into the wall, you're going to bump your head. All right? But you got to be smarter, knowing that it could be an opening in the wall. And despite you feeling that the wall is not really there, you still have to go through the motions of walking through the hole in the wall to pass through. And that is, it becomes a tough thing to come to grips with, because, and that's what's so interesting, because on the one hand, you get people that have so anxiety. It gives them such an anxiety of everything that goes on and all this coming, and it just makes people anxious because they're so aware of everything. On the other hand, the people, when you become detached, it's the opposite. It's like you looking at this shit from a position of like, damn, this is just like so much fakeness. Like I know it can't be real. You catch glitches and stuff, and that is hard to stay grounded. But the thing again, remember, you don't have to bend the spoon. You don't have to bend it. The spoon ain't real. And that's the way you got to deal with it. It's like what you are doing now in the moment, moving through space, time, is all you can care about. And maybe even slow yourself down to remember the perception is the same perception as you see landscaping and going through video games. It's the same way. You walk out your door, something different appears. You walk out in the house, in the basement, in the garage, something different appears. So you just take it as that. So you ground, and you just take the moments, and you just accept as the moments, and the reality moves forward. And don't think about it too much. These stories that come detached from that stuff. So I hope that helped a little bit. But ground in the dirt, ground in the grass. That's a great thing. Rain can do the same kind of thing too. Just like I do the smudging. The sounds is another way, that can get energies and get you to reflect back into yourself. And just don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing the best you can do. And just what you wrote shows you just doing the best you can do and trying to be the best you that you can be. And that's all you can do. But Richard Pryor said it best. It's just hard enough just to be a motherfucking human being. And he was right. I mean, it really is. It's a hard thing. And it doesn't necessarily get easier, but experience helps you adapt a little quicker. Because you can kind of look at situations, you can kind of read into situations. And sometimes, it's funny. I probably should say this, but sometimes I've made mistakes doing things just to see the repercussions of what would happen. I don't mean breaking the law or anything, but just different kind of things I've tried. I've made mistakes on purpose just to see what would happen because of the mistake, so I can understand the system better. Because there's certain systems I like, through making a mistake, I wanted to see how everything moved with it. So, and I've had jobs where, if I made one mistake, it shut stuff down. Couldn't make mistakes. And I learned very early from engineers, make somebody else sign it. If you say the shit ain't right, and you can get somebody else to sign and say, okay, you think it's right, sign. Learned that very easy in the game. Again, coming from, production, supplier side production, which is, big business in Michigan because of cars even today. I mean, some cars still fully get built in Michigan, but at one time, all the cars was built in Michigan. Unless they brought them from somewhere else. Like you start seeing the Volkswagens. And that's an odd thing. When those Volkswagens came, that people wanted those cars in the North. People were driving them cars in the 80s, and them cars didn't have heaters in them. The cars, you know what happens in the wintertime when it gets about 10 above zero? Your breath freezes all the windows. Just you breathing freezes the windows if you ain't got something, to defrost. That's what your defrost does. It takes your breath and warms up the air and doesn't freeze the windows. But in the Volkswagens, it's like, again, these are air-cooled cars. And so the only heat you have is generated off the engine. And you know how long that could take? They just put a blower from the engine to try to put heat in your car. As I said, we had a Volkswagen bus that had a propane heater that locked into place. But if that thing got hit with that gasoline, that extra gasoline in there, with people being in there, you sitting in this van and it gets hit and a car hits that while you sitting in there. Do you know how dangerous that would be? I don't know if that ever happened, but I'm just saying, looking at that is extremely dangerous. As I said, my father, ego driven, gave up a 55 or 56 Bel Air for a 61, 62 Volkswagen that didn't have no heat in it. This big rugged car, all this chrome, way nicer than this little bug. But my father was from a small town, and it made him hip. It was the hip car to have. The Bel Air was the old generation, the 50s. We the hippies, the hippies wanted these Volkswagens. But from a practical and value standpoint, it wasn't. It was like you got psyched out. You got fooled. Now the cars ran, no doubt, cheap to repair. Summertime cool, but not in the wintertime. Front wheel drive. I want to say they were front wheel. Well, engine back. Yeah, I want to say those cars are front wheel drive though. I don't know. Yeah, I am only 22 and had these awakenings or states of higher consciousness the last couple of years. Find it hard to relate to a lot of other people, but I try to keep that open heart and flow with life. Yeah, that's it. That's really it. That's really it, man. It's like, I'm gonna tell you, like one thing I like about pickleball, and I've only played in 4 or 5 different other courts, but everybody is just everybody introduces themselves, pops rackets. It is a very personal thing, and I like that about it. There's very few things. Like you go play basketball with some people 5-on-5, you ain't gonna introduce people. You'll say people's names, maybe something when the dude you playing with, but the people you playing against, not really so much. Right, so I like that. But that's all you can do, and just it's that good energy. Again, when I talk about the infinite ball game, it's that. I mean, it's really that. I mean, it's like you got the hero twins on both sides. It's really the hero twins playing itself. I mean, you see that, and it's such a, I don't know, you guys just get it. It's such a great way for the average person to stay in shape. I mean, there's a ton of just this from every angle, this, and you're really working this, and you're moving. I mean, it's just for every age, every body size. It's a great workout. So, hey, B Brown, how you doing? Should we give people a second chance? I've had people give me the 2000th chance. So yeah, I mean, it just depends on the situation. The thing is people aren't going to change, nor can you change anyone. That's the thing. You can't change anyone. You're not going to be changed. So you got to go in with your eyes wide open, not with your eyes wide shut. Go on with your eyes wide open. If you're going to give that chance, but be aware, what do you think of all these stones blowing up the other day? We kind of hit on that. I think Sly did the best review of that. I think it was an inside job. Um, I think it got a lot of bad publicity as some doom and gloom and population control, but it wasn't just. And you see that that's what they really. The only thing you really heard about it was the population control thing. You didn't really. They rarely would show all of it. As I said before, that is the land of granite, made in granite, and vibrational wise, what it was pushing out blew away some high vibrations all the time that it was there. It is probably on a, again, that area down there going all the way up to New York is on the granite itself. They say that's why New York is worth the most because it's sitting on, it sits literally on granite. That granite runs, Granite Mountain or Stone Mountain. It's all that granite runs all through there. Granite is a very high vibrational stone. Very hard to blow up the way they blew it up too. And then there's no film, and they're not releasing film of it being blown up. So you have to consider all those things. It could be a self-initiation that the owners did. Again, a lot of people are feeling emotional. A lot of people going there. So I don't feel one way or another about it. I like the way it said at the end, leave room for nature. I mean, that should have been the publicity part of it because that's what it is. And we all understand. I mean, you're listening to a person that lives in the Amazon forest that's, barely surviving to feed his family. And these taking out these trees is the only way he can do it. I mean, really, it's the same thing as when we saw in the dope game. They took away all the jobs, and so you just hustling these rocks is the only way you paying these bills, or selling them packs is the only way you paying these bills because you can't keep a job. And then when you do, at times when you would get the jobs wasn't hardly paying nothing. And this is what the greatest change, and this is what was so sad the way things used to be. Motherfuckers would be funky about low-paying jobs. You would find the funkiest attitudes. People would treat the people the worst when it was the lowest paying shit. People treated people the worst. $5 an hour job, and you would see bosses just sweating people over that $5 an hour job. And you just see the worst types of people. And, that's the good thing that we see now, where, employees was like, shit, yeah, the government did, hand out benefits. And there's not too many people in America, one way or another, don't get a government benefit one way or another. There's a lot of them out there. Hell, one benefit they say is pay your taxes. Oh, hey, smoking big, smoking big. 06, what's happening? I found the little video of my cousin dancing, my mother, so I might share that one night. His little tribute or his little video that went viral. It's funny how that generation, we've got 3 deaths last 13 months of that same generation. What's the odds of that? That the generation of my nephews and my son's generations, all of a sudden we had 3 deaths from that generation. What's the odds? And it goes into, how many people would have to be involved if you think they targeted my family? How many people have to be involved for just the one death? But they definitely know who we are. I see the handlers they put around me all my life, and I understand they've been watching me for a while. And it's nothing to do with being paranoid. I've been scared. I can see, that's why I say I talk about handlers. I can see where, in my life I was scared. Definitely scared in sports, no doubt. I had a football helmet. Damn, as soon as I walked, I had a football helmet and a football. As soon as I could walk. That's my oldest toy. My oldest toy was a football helmet and a football. They're my oldest toys I remember. Now, the toy that's worth a lot of money, I had to pull it, to pull the string Bugs Bunny. That shit, you could have that shit today. That shit's worth hundreds of thousands. Apparently pretty rare. pulled a Bugs Bunny and he talk shit to you, you know. I used to sit in the closet and just like listen to him talk shit. He'd say about 40 things. You know, I'd be amazed, like, motherfucker. Goddamn, Bugs, what you think about this bullshit? We in the closet, all these dirty clothes, and Bugs would make my mood go up, saying some funny shit, all in Mel Blanc. You know, Mel Blanc. uh, oh, here we go. There has been a challenge. There has been a challenge. I forgot to mention this. Well, I guess I have, but there's been a challenge. Homeboy Nick, be nephew in here. Siova, my son, says that his shit is put together better than y'all could have told him to put his shit together. So we're going to do a video and he's going to talk. And he says, don't talk about the way he didn't tuck his wires and stuff. But he said the way he put it together, he says is superior to what y'all told him. So you two, let me know. We can come on earlier, you know, later, or earlier time. And I want to go through his build with you guys and let him explain it. So I'm going to do a video with him and let him explain what he did. Again, he made a video. Yeah, thank you though. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I appreciate it. You know, and keeping these and watching these videos. I appreciate it. And you know, I come in and try to be as genuine as I can and promote it. It's like, you know, Nick has me thinking, because it's like this room, you know, it's a lot of echoing. I got a window open. I shut the curtains because I know the curtains would dampen some of the sound. So yeah, it's a lot open. And but a lot is happening here for me. So I'm not gonna worry about this too much right now, but it will get better. Definitely. And I know I've been saying that, but it's every day's better. Every day's better. Every day the hustles are coming in better and better. So yeah. And you know, meeting everyone out here. The networking is so great. Hopefully I can send this stuff off. Kind of lock myself out of my boxes because I have 2 storage units and I don't have keys to them, but I know how to take the doors off. So those are my other boxes. So I need to get 2 boxes. But let me show y'all. You know, I talk shit and show y'all the shit. You know, Russell is one of my family names. It's Russell. So I like this shit. But as I said before, this is Hugo Boss, which is Nazi shit. Hugo Boss Russell is the sport brand of Hugo Boss. So this is more Nazi clothes. And this shit was super cheap, but made well. It says $7 on clearance. I think my son took all my hoop shorts. I was down to like 2 pair of hoop shorts. I go play pickleball when it's night. I'm like, where's all my goddamn shorts? And then every day he's coming out with another pair of my goddamn shorts. So I've been buying cheap shorts. I don't buy too many, but yeah. Russell is Hugo Boss. Nazi. You can still get boss shit. And y'all think they hated the Nazis. Hitler be on every night. Every night. I have not went in the last 6 years. I have not watched a week where Hitler hasn't been on at least every 10 days. Every 10 days. They do not go longer than 10 days putting Hitler on the History Channel, and it's another channel too. American something shit. But them 2 channels, they keep Hitler on. So, and then I've been studying a lot of, you know, when the Jesuits, because there's stories out there where you see that the Jesuits were the ones that really made the push to go into Palestine. I've been studying a lot of that lately too. So got some books coming in on that. And the British's role, because all that was once all the Ottoman Empire, as you know, still Iraq, Iran, these was all, you know, the Saudi prince after World War I, he thought he was going to get all that shit back because that was all his family fighting the Ottomans. And so he really thought he was going to get all that. And they only gave him Saudi Arabia, the Arab Emirates. They got only that. The rest of that shit, they kind of chopped up. And so it was, you know, Palestine was under British control. And as I said before, you know, Hitler worked with people and they sent 22,000 people in 1921, 1922, just from Germany with the help of the Nazis. So if the Nazis could help them move somewhere, I mean, really? So it's like, well, you know, 22, we're going to give a break to. So supposedly they're going to put everybody bootaz. And but they send M22 there. And again, the immigration even before then was another 20-some thousand. So it was almost a immigration a few years, almost 40,000 that went out of Germany. And again, it was only hundreds of thousands of Jewish faith people in Germany. So there is some significance to those lands as well. You know, all the religions claim those areas. So studying that, just I find that part of history, and then you know America again, they wanted a base there. That's part of it too. That's why they've always backed them. In the same way, what they're doing in Ukraine is they need a base there. So that is what Ukraine has done. And you know, you want to say it's a proxy war, of course it is. But Russia has done what you know they felt they've done so far. I don't know how deep they're going to go into trying to take Western Ukraine, but we'll see. We'll see if this is the one that's going to turn everything into everything. But it's really nothing for us to worry about. Now, gas should be down everywhere. They were trading it Friday. They were trading at $89 a barrel. So gas should be significantly lower. And as I've said, you know, you still have to consider futures. You know, again, they're looking at where we in July, so they're looking at September futures. That's how the price. You know, they're looking at how they think the demand and the supply are going to balance out. So that's still why you're seeing. But some of the other states, Tony was just in Georgia, and he said he saw 380 something in Georgia. So up here it's still 450 something. But we should definitely see it coming down heading into the fall. So that's one thing, because gas is a bill. You know, it's bad enough you got to pay insurance, you got to pay car payment if you don't own your car, and you got the third bill with the car, and then if you need the repairs, that's 4 bills. So again, America invented gas, so you think the country that invented something ain't gonna never struggle with it. They it's like crack, you know. America has invented crack, and they showed the whole world. Crack is whack. Oh, but yeah, I'm not gonna go terribly long tonight. I am kind of sleepy. I got up early this morning. Had an eventful day, cool day. It's supposed to be in the 90s, rain in the morning, storm a little bit. It's not too windy. Gonna work out again. Working out is good. And just to tell you, you know, it's like with edibles, you know, they peak at a certain time, and they were peaking while I was playing. And just the rhythm of the whole thing, my breathing, just anticipating each play, each moment. I mean, it's just a great feeling to be active, you know, to be active. Uh, and I'll say, and I don't know if this is paranoid. I don't know if this is paranoid or not, but it's just something that makes me think. And as I walk around, and most time I walk around with guns. I've always been that kind. I've been walking around with guns since I was 18. You know, when I lived in Greensboro, I walked around with a gun bag. Just, you know, before I got a car. I worked for the water department. I walked A&T, had a gun bag, go to restaurants, gun bag everywhere. And inside, I tried to think what model that was, because that gun was from the 70s. Wasn't a police model. And I had put the pearl handles, pearl. I had pearl handles on that fucking, not ivory, but pearl handles on that 357. I used to walk around with it. Oh, there he is. Edward, Big Pontiac, what's up, brother? Peace and many blessings of the Black Jaguar God be upon you from the Black Jaguar teacher, Mac Bone. Yes, brother Mac Bone, and let's introduce it. The transformation. You know, we give it to you. We give you the transformation. This is the transformation. You know, this is the one fractal you should kind of understand. This is America. This is our energy, our magic. Because you're tied to the land, you're tied to this. Why do you think they want to name all these sports teams after? They want to take it for themselves. Panthers, Jaguars. Well, this is our stuff. We claim this, and you know, I'm the only one giving you this. This is fairly rare for our symbolism. As I've said before, you know, it showed you. You know, this is what they mostly show you for the omen. They show you this, you know, the ball player. But they don't want to give you the magic of the Jaguar transformation. And that's transforming. I mean, you can look at you can look at the physical transformation. Again, that goes into, you know, we go into the Tsar. You can go into that type of spiritual transformation. Not to say this isn't important. I mean, this is important that at least this is shown, because this cracked the code. This embarrassed them. This embarrassed them. They had no way to describe this. They destroyed most of this stuff. They really did. We've got the proof that they found a lot of this shit just buried and destroyed. So they came upon this stuff. They came upon these cities. Again, some of this omen stuff, they came upon cities where statues, you could move their arms. They're articulated. They go into these abandoned cities with this beautiful sculptures with articulated. You could move the arms. Europeans had nothing like that. They destroyed all that stuff. And they tried to destroy these. In Van Sertima's book, They Came Before Columbus, sparked people. Even though it's still Pan-Africanism, it still showed you these. And because of this, because of the ball game, it is ingrained with us that live in the Americas. So I live this. Can't say that this is my religion, but this is what I live. I live with this. Because this is the original energies out of the Americas. This is the original magic. This is the closest to the original magic that we can touch on. That's just pure American. And comes from just pure American spirit. Without any other corruption or any European influence, this is just pure American science. That's passed on to us. That you can tap into. You understand? You can tap into this. Each and every one of us can tap into this. So, thank you, Everett. I always wait for you to come on. There's a high school in Duncanville, Texas called the Panthers. Yeah, the Panthers are everywhere. Book Mystery of the Omics by David Hatcher, Childless. Okay. I think, you know what? I think I didn't get that book because that book is in. The only thing, if this is the book I'm thinking about, and I really think it is, I can only find it in Canada, and I don't want to pay that 15, 16 bucks to just get the book from Canada. So I think that's the book you're talking about. I have to double check my source thing. If you know me, I'm always looking for books. I'm always bringing stuff in. And it's not that, you know, I need the research. It's just like I want to see how things move. That's all. See how these things are explained. And try to understand, you know, what's that mean to me? That's how y'all gotta look at it. What does that mean to me? That's it. What does it mean to you? Like the brother was saying, you know, become detached. That's it. Like, what does all this really mean to me? And that you can get stuck on that. What is so much does it mean to me? But once you figure out what it all means to you, then you are able to move through this. As I said before, the car thing is so easy. Get in the habit of approaching your car the same way. Every time you go in, every time you leave, approach your car in the same way. Now, a prime example is you can either walk straight to your driver door or you can loop around. Or, I mean, if you come out of garage, you have to loop around. Say you can't go in the front, you got to go in the back. You can do that, or you can open up the garage any kind of way. But whatever you got to do, do it the same way. When you park, leave your car and approach it the same way. This gets you in the rhythm of how all this moves, because the parking and everything is all part of it. But you start this kind of rhythm, and this kind of rhythm, again, it's almost driving. It's just plugging in. That's why I know I caught them glitching. I did something that caught them glitching. As I said, and Conspiracy University said 2 white cars rolled up as he was sitting there. I mean, it was a glitch. There's no way I would see 10 white trucks if something didn't change. I mean, that is just too random that all these white trucks just appear out of nowhere. So I know that whatever decision I did, something threw them off. And then even driving, what happened when I was driving. So, but this is a way to plug in to it all. And that's just a simple way to start. And I'll tell you a thing that's driving that's good. It seems bad and it seems scary because a lot of times when you're driving, you'll get these crash kind of, you know, they'll try to feed you crash and fear things. That's good. Because if you start getting that kind of download, you're tapped into it closer and closer, because then you just cancel that bullshit. Because once you start hearing those fear programs as you drive, you know, oh shit, these motherfuckers know that I am real. because they're starting to give me the fear programs while I'm driving, so they realize I'm real. And then you just conquer that. So that's one way to go about it. Wanted to re-emphasize that if I didn't emphasize it enough. And it's like the same hesitation, you know, when you leave your room, you do the same hesitation. Excuse me, not your room, you leave your home. You know, before you go out the door, you got to hesitate. Because you really do want to, in some ways, return the same way you're leaving. And so what you're doing is proclaiming that when you return, you're going to step back into what you are before you leave. I don't know any other way I can put it. That's what it is. Then once you get out, you have to pause again. That's why locking my top lock is so excellent, because it's the same thing, you know. As I'm locking my top lock, it's the same pause. Stores, it's not bad to do it in stores, especially when you leave. Especially when you leave. As I talk about with Ghostbusters, the women's Ghostbusters show these entities on top of fucking with people going in and out of the store. That's really there. And I've said again, when you kind of got money and you go into a mall and you just find yourself spending, buying shit, that's energy there that's feeding that to you. Grocery stores the same way. You know, they say never go to a grocery store hungry. Well, if you are, there's things that feel that, and they'll start feeding into you. I mean, look at the way shopping, you know, you go in a grocery store, look at the mouth of it. And if you just look at it as a structure, I mean, yes, you're getting things to feed you, but the whole ritual with the food and everything, we are also feeding it. Because in this reality, entities are damn near behind all this stuff. I mean, the processing of all of it. And I'll tell you, like a horrible vision that I was able to tap into. As I said, you know, I used to run a forklift on a slaughterhouse. Was doing quality with the quality control, USDA. You know, did a little bit of everything. But one time I was there, and it was like all the cows turned into people, and it was like just people standing in line. Because you know the way they kill the cows, they hit them in the head, then they string them up and they cut their necks. And most of the time, the hit in the head knocks them out. Sometimes it doesn't. No matter what, they slit their throats no matter what, even if they're conscious. But it kind of like stuns most of them enough. But it's almost, you know, I kept getting that energy, and then one day the vision just came, like it was just people standing in line getting that done. And again, you know, they are mammals, you know, and eating the way they teach us to eat off that is very parasitic. Same way with the plants. You can't tell that's still parasitic, even with the plants. It's still parasitic. And the reality is, you know, everybody can't live on the equator. You live on the equator, you can just pretty much eat soup all day. You know, the man said rock soup. You can make rock soup all day and live on the equator and be okay. Just drink enough water. You don't really need food. The sun is going to feed you constantly. OTF. You can get the ebook on Amazon Kindle and Adventures Unlimited Publishing. Oh, that's in America? Okay. I'll look that up because I'm pretty sure I saw that book, but it was out of Canada, and that's why I didn't order it. I'm pretty sure the book you're talking about. I'm pretty sure. Hey, OTF, what's up, Pop? You see Steph Curry golf there? Look, yeah, that's what he's talking about. There's a strong Negro. It's two people. CWE didn't come in, and then my man's name? SD. Boston beat the Yankees. I thought they would be coming in talking shit. Y'all ain't watching tonight. Y'all ain't coming in talking shit. I know CWE hiding. You watching, but you hiding. I know you hiding CWE because the Yankees got their ass kicked tonight. It was a good game though. It was a good game. So I thought SD would be in here talking shit because Boston took him. Broke Yankee streak. What, 61? What was the streak? And then the All-Star game about to come up. Arise better make the All-Star team. Arise is leading the league in hitting. Buxton really should make it too, but Arise better make the All-Star team. Leading the league in hitting. Of course, he ain't going to get voted in. The strong Omen, Black Jaguar, Priest, Magician presence in Arkansas and Texas. Interesting. I was in Arkansas. I liked it. I really liked it. I mean, I was down there where the Walmart Capitol is down there. The houses overlooking the bluffs. That shit, I fell in love with that. Hey, Dred, how you doing, man? Did Divers go off? Did Devers go off? Devers, which team? Keegan had a good game. The big fella that was the #1 pick had a good game. That was a real good game. So that was Orlando, and Sacramento, and then Chet's team lost in the end. I want to say, but Chet had 16 points, 8 or 9 rebounds, and 3 or 4 blocks again. Chet's gonna give some people some problems. I don't care. Chet's gonna give some people some problems, and so that was a decent game. The boy, he played the guy, the #1 pick from Houston. He played him head up. They kind of play different positions. That guy from Houston's he's more of a 4, like Chris Webber type of 4. But Devers. Oh, Devers is hurt, right? Didn't Devers get hurt? Oh, maybe not. Maybe he did. Oh, okay. Rafael Devers. Yeah. Trying to think. I just watched the highlights. Damn. Maybe. They had some critical hitting though in overtime. Yankees scored 2. Yankees scored 2 in the top of extra innings, and then they scored 3. Boston scored 3 to win. So Jabari Smith Jr. Yeah, Valerie, Jabari Smith Jr. Yep, Jabari Smith Jr. He played good too. I like his game. He's gonna be nice down there. But that other first year player, they're gonna have a pretty good team. A lot of good basketball at that level. A lot of good basketball. I enjoyed the games tonight. I didn't watch much of the Canadian games. I was just watching mostly them. Yep. Thank you, Valerie. Yep. Jabari Smith Jr. He played a good game. I liked his overall game. Hustle. They had a nice hustle. Another young brother. He wore, I think, 50, 55. I don't know if these are their final numbers either. More likely, they probably are. That's why I thought it was funny they put Chet #7, for OKC. Thought that was funny. And then, of course, after his first game, he gets the thing from Durant. Shit, now they saying Durant and them might stay together. And that's some shit. They say all of them might stay together. So that's going to be interesting. The shit is drying up on them. But it's fun watching them. I was telling my friend, he didn't realize that the rookie league's been around forever. They've been around forever. They've had rookie leagues since Magic. Yeah, they've always had rookie leagues. And I said before, the reason why, Michael Jordan had to play in the Love of the Game, saying he could hoop anywhere, was because of, I think it was called the Terry Durod, either the Greg Lloyd rule or Terry Durod. I think it's Terry Durod rule. And Terry tore his knee playing in Chicago in Pro-Am League. He was playing the Pro-Am League, but it wasn't sanctioned by the NBA. And so after that, the NBA put it in that you could only play in sanctioned NBA events. If you're gonna get hurt, you got to get hurt doing, So I think that the league in LA, the Hardy and them play in. I can't think of the Dom League or some shit like that. But that's what you're seeing them playing in sanctioned events, summer leagues. So yeah, the rookie league's been going on forever. And then I started talking to him. And he remembered. And I don't know if y'all know, but I don't know if it was the Dame League or whatever it's called in LA, but when Jason Kidd was like in 10th grade, they was letting Jason Kidd do like Earl Moneygut did. Earl Moneygut up to the point in the 60s didn't know dudes play in the pro level, the pro level Rutgers until Earl. Earl was the first one. Earl was only like 6'6'1", 6'2", maybe at best. But Jason Kidd played in them pro leagues and he was eating them up. I mean, top name dudes, he was going through them in high school. So, Chet, I am sure is going to get stronger so he can finish better at the rim. Oh, already, I'll tell you, already his shape looks better. I'll say that. Already his shape looks better. So he's definitely worked on it. He's already bigger. And so he's done a lot of work. I'll say that. Since I saw him last, or since he played and they lost in the tournament, you look at his body, you can tell. When they from the draft, and I'm sorry I didn't mention that then, I could look at his body and tell he had worked on it. So he's eating right. He's putting in work. He's stronger. Just look at his legs. His legs, he's and he'll learn. He'll learn as he plays. Again, he's so versatile, and he's probably going to be, as again, one of the most effective shot blockers we've seen in a long time. He really is, and especially in this game. Lopez and them centers ain't gonna be able to get easy shots over him. And that's where the game would change. Hey, Pale Horse, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming. Can't wait for Chet to guard Giannis. I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna be free money on Giannis on points. Probably so. JD Epson's trash. Should have went back to college. JD, where he play at, Pale? What place he play at? I don't know that name offhand. I watched 4. They show more games than that. They showed 4. I watched 3 of the 4 games. The one game we left. But I want to say when I left, they were showing them games when I left to go into the city, you know. So yeah, it was 4 games at least. He follows the ball really well. Okay. Yeah, he definitely does. His high school tape was nasty. He was dunking on everybody. Oops. Oh, here we go. Well, so was, that goes into the same thing you can say on Zion. Zion was playing in the lowest high school level in South Carolina. And that guy that he played on the Philadelphia, he was on the G League with the Lakers, McGurdy, young European dude that went to Georgetown. I think he was from Virginia. All his tapes, he dunked in high school. And now, he's summer league, second year. He's summer league with the Sixers. So McPurdy or something like that. Played a couple years at Georgetown and then ended up in Texas Tech. Actually had a pretty good team. And I'm glad they didn't fire Ewing. I mean, it's going to take him a minute. But people will play for Ewing. It's just recruiting is art. It's an art to recruiting. It's art. And even at a person at that stage of his life, just being an ex-pro player is only going to last you so long. Eventually, you got to start saying, well, I can put boys here, and then I'm sending boys to the league. I mean, eventually, that's what you got to show. Imagine Chet guarding Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley had to guard Shaq. Young, older Shaq. Oh, exactly. Okay, but let's throw the picture like this. Chet guarding Shaq with the new zone rules, where he ain't got to sit there and more people can sag and help him. He can play in front of Shaq. Try to see if they can throw it over the top to Shaq. So, I mean, the rules, what rules we playing under? We playing under he got to stand there and just guard Shaq? Or are we talking about under the new rules where you can be defensively moving around back there? You can zone up against Shaq. So, prime Shaq. That's unfair, though. You asking a rookie to guard prime Shaq. Let's say rookie Shaq against rookie Chet. Let's make it fair. See, prime. Come on now. That y'all on some bullshit. You on some bullshit. OTF. That prime Shaq. Now come on. You said Chet got to go in there and guard prime Shaq. That ain't fair. That ain't even fair. Come on, get out of here with that. His jumper never developed, but Chet ain't playing no more than 40% of his rookie season. His legs won't hold up. Well, I'll say this, and this is historically back to young players will play very well up to 30 games. Most, if you win it all, you play 35, 36 games, something like that. Young players are going to play well the 30 games. And so now they're resting him more through those 30 games. So he's going to hit a wall. I mean, you're playing almost a season and a half extra. So, of course he is. But it ain't going to just be him. You know, he got people around him. He had OKC, so he got people around him. But yeah, but 30 games, he'll do well. I mean, high school damn near played 30 games now. So he'll play well up to 30 games, and all of them hit a wall that day. Young Shaq was dominant. I would say let him play against Young Shaq. Chet will get pissed on. Oh boy, too little. He gonna be all right though. He is going to be all right. He has the game that they need, and he might be the face. Don't be surprised if he becomes the face. I'll say that. They don't like Luka. Luka ain't the face. Luka what? Third, fourth year, and he still ain't the face. He ain't gonna never be the face. They wanted to make Porzingis the face. And like it or not, Giannis isn't sellable. He isn't sellable. You can't sell Giannis. You just can't sell Giannis. As hard as they tried, they can't sell him. The Joker, what the Joker? You gonna make him MVP twice? He no more than Steve Nash. Matter of fact, Steve Nash had 1 or 2 commercials his MVP years. Where's Djokovic commercial? Man, you know, you guys rock with me. You know, I was pointing out Steph's commercials all year round. Steph had a Super Bowl commercial. Steph had Super Bowl commercials before the Super Bowl. Had commercials before the Super Bowl. So you can see him setting it up for him. Now they're talking about they're going to trade all them players, Wiggins and all them for Grant. Really? Come on, I don't see that. You know what I saw? I didn't know Trajan Langdon, ex Duke player, played in the league. He played all over the world. If you can find, and you guys are true basketball historians, look up Trajan Langdon's his interview where he talks about his experience playing overseas. And it's overseas, you know, I talked to dudes, a lot of dudes that played overseas, and it's like you really got to be on your hustle because you'll go to these places that they don't want to pay you. Because again, this is a lot of tournament ball. That's what you got to understand about when you play overseas. You're playing a lot of tournament ball. And going places they don't want to pay and shit. And it's like, man, getting used to the food. Like Keegan Murray, Kenyon. His father Kenyon played in China. I should bring the article out when we played. We got second place in the Macker, but we end up winning. Like they say, sometimes when you lose, you win. Shit, we came up out of that motherfucker. They end up. We got second place. This team beat us twice. Really good players. Kenyon was playing. This dude beat the shit out of Kenyon shit. I had a good game. I mean, it was one game we played. I just killed people on the left side. I mean, just killed it. I used to work because, you know, spin was my move. And I used to start working on like a half spin because I would watch Earl Burrow the way he would do it. And, you know, you just get real lazy. Like you get a dude baseline and you start doing these lazy types of spins and you kind of fake spin. But it's like you do it so nonchalant that you spin off a dude. It's like before you know it, you buy him. It is like I would naturally shoot left hand. But I forget what we played to. I think it was 15. I got like 8, 9 baskets in a row on a dude, just killing him on one side. They couldn't double team because everybody else could hoop. And I walk out there with 2 plaques because they gave us the teamwork best, you know. And I'm walking out there with 2 trophies. And so sometimes when you lose, you won. I love playing 3-on-3. You can really break people down 3-on-3. Yeah, the 3-point shooters could make it difficult. I had one dude, like I had a guy that's a dog. I mean, this mug. We'd be playing the tournaments and be down 15, then Rob would hit 15 in a row. Or Rob would hit 7 or 8 threes in a row. Like just easy, where we didn't have to fight to get back in. It was like we would just play good defense and go down there and kind of spread the floor. Rob get to cooking, and Rob would hit 6, 7 threes in a row before you know we back into the game. And then when Rob would take a break, you know, everybody else start working. And that's how we used to hoop. You know, that's how the semi-pro games would work. You playing tournaments, you know. Tournaments is fun too. Shows the hoopers. You people watch you hoop. You get to watch everybody else hoop. You know, when they see you, can they work with it? Y'all saw Trajan sitting with the Pelicans coach. Yeah, he's the general manager. But I got Yeah, he's the general manager of the Pelicans. I didn't know that, but he played. He's from Alaska. Played at Duke. He played over Europe. That article is a great article about what to experience in Europe. So if you can look up Trajan Langdon's interview about playing in Europe, and that's the thing, Americans had to be, that straight up going with the money. You cannot bullshit, because if you're a nice person traveling overseas, and they'll try to fuck you over. It's just like they try to fuck you over here, they'll try to fuck you over there. Same kind of hustle, So I had a boy fucking die in Israel of Legionnaire disease. I probably mentioned it before. Yeah, I think he was in Israel. Sam Mitchell was his name. I mean, I know it's two Sam Mitchell. Sam Mitchell that coached and played with the Timberwolves. I knew him, but it was another Sam Mitchell from Kalamazoo that, as I said, if you watch the Fab Five and you watch that first season, you see a few glimpses of Sam. Sam was starting. Michael Talley and Sam was starting. King and Jackson's ass was on the bench, and that was a hell of a team. You had Sam Mitchell, you had Chris Webber, you had Howard, and then you had Jalen, and Jalen could play the two because Michael Talley was a hell of a ball handler. They fucked Sam over. Sam 6'8", 6'9", power forward, just like Webber. Better scorer. Sam was a better scorer than Howard. And they picked Jackson and King over him. Never made sense. Never made sense. But that, again, different coach came in. Bo Schembechler fired Frieder because Frieder had it with Bo Schembechler, because Bo Schembechler was the athletic director and didn't like Frieder. And so they was always beefing. Frieder had it. Frieder went to fucking Arizona State. Season ended. Back then, Big Ten did not have a tournament, so waiting for the NCAA, Frieder took another job. And Bo Schembechler would not let him coach, and he let the other dude coach, the dude who coached Kawhi at San Diego State, because it was Frieder, and I'm telling you, both their names are very familiar. And the other dude ended up winning in '89, but that was Bill Frieder's team. Bill Frieder came from Flint Northern, and Flint Northern beat my cousin's team in 72 or 73. No, that was 71, 72. And there's the Britt brothers. No, two brothers from that team end up playing at Michigan together. Two brothers. I can't think of the names right now. I know too much old shit. Maurice Taylor was a beast too. Maurice Taylor was the one was driving when that car flipped. They got them all into, went back to Ed Martin, because Ed Martin had bought Maurice Taylor a brand new car. Well, but they put it in his mama's name. And when Cleves was visiting them on his trip, they got in an accident, and they got to investigating how could Taylor afford that car. And that's what started going back to Martin, what got them, the banners taken down. And actually, Chris Webber lied, That's why Jalen and Chris Webber didn't get along for years and years. But that's Maurice Taylor's the one that it all started. He got in an accident, and they started looking into how he could afford that car. And Ed Martin, for those of you who don't realize, before the government took over the lottery people was just as rich as any dope dealer. And it wasn't looked at as, destroying the community. It was giving, that dream. So before the government took it over, it was a big thing in the community. The numbers runners was a big thing. I mean, as Michigan took over, I knew a dude that did 2 states. He did 3 states. He did Illinois, he did Indiana, and he did Michigan. My dad's the old number runner. His name was Mr. Donald. And Ed Martin was working for Chrysler and the numbers runner. So he's killing them at his job, and he's killing them in the street. And he used that shit in the street to run AAU in Detroit. Feed children, clothe children, make sure children get to these tournaments. He paid the tuition of Chris Webber and his brother at Detroit Country Day. Look that school up. It wasn't cheap. And then Chris Webber want to talk shit about him. That's what pissed off Jalen. And Ed Martin was probably a handler. Let's be real. Mm. Some wild story. Yeah, yeah, that's the whole story. That's the whole story. You know, Ed Martin was probably a handler too. Let's tell the whole story. You know, I try to give y'all the whole story. More than likely, he was a handler as well. Ed got Percy Watson. They got Percy Watson from coaching at Detroit Southwestern to being on the bench at Michigan. So Ed had a little bit to do with that. That was one of his guys, Percy Watson, that coached Jalen, Rashawn Leonard, because it was like Detroit Southwestern that made it to the title 3 years in a row. And I don't know if Jalen and what team went through to finally win it. They got beat one time, and this might probably I should show if I can find that to see if that was basket manipulated. Because the dude literally to beat Jalen and then the dude and Rashawn, the dude literally throws the ball from half court. The shit goes in and beats them. They got the game. This dude literally just throws it at the basket. This shit goes in and beats him. Yeah. Luka is the face for guys under 25. He's probably the best player in the game. I don't know. I don't know. It's something they don't like about him. There's something that they don't like about him. Okay, Spider Mitchell gets just as much, if not more, attention than Luka. Spider Mitchell has a lot of light on him. So I don't see that Luka gets more light on him than Mitchell. Mitchell made the All-Star team, and I don't know if Mitchell's made All-Pro. I think he made that his rookie year. Didn't he make third team All-Pro? Y'all can look that up. I think. One of them years he made All-Pro too. Now maybe Luka's made All-Pro all his years. I'm not sure. So, but they're not gonna make him, and definitely not Giannis. Definitely not Joker. As I said, I could see them getting behind and under Chet in a few years. It ain't gonna happen overnight, but Chet stays healthy, and that's definitely, big dudes always seem to have the foot problems. 7-footers. Smith. What's the guy that plays for the Pacers? His daddy, Shabanis. He was 7'4", 7'5". Big body, grew into his body. But by the time he played in the NBA, his foot was gone. He probably walked with a limp. Mm-hmm. He got hit a few times, now he walks with a limp. Found me a new jar. This ain't, my other jar was better. This one's kind of bigger, but again, you want the Shiva ligum, and the ligum goes in the yoni, and this creates like what an atom would be in the stasis that atom. That's what this represents. And I'll tell you, for you people that have anxiety, this is the rare kind, the black kind. For a long time, they wouldn't even send these to America. You see the other kind. I've got another one, but I'll tell you, these are one of the best anxiety absorbers and releasers that I found. Is these ligands. These ligands really help that. I mean, you go to the, that anxiety hits, and a lot of time anxiety is like adrenaline comes from right here. You can feel where the chemical release of adrenaline is. And I mean, anybody that does meth and shit, and those kind of drugs, you can tell where adrenaline comes. It releases here. You take a good hit of crack, and right here you'll start feeling this shit release. You'll feel it go up your face, and you'll feel adrenaline start pushing into you. You'll start, and a lot of people, when they talk about adrenaline junkies, that's what it is. They like that, that feeling of that newness of it hitting you. But this really, and you can program crystals. You can program them, but these are really good for that. So, and these aren't, you have to order something like this, and you can get them little. It ain't got to be this big. But if you suffer with that, this helps with that. This definitely helps. Matter of fact, I ended up giving the other one to my son, and he ended up, when he was feeling bad, he had to, I don't know, feeling different. He so he keeps it, but I had to give him the other part. Like, no, you got to keep it like this to keep him charged. So. It's helpful in ways. Because everything you get, you buy, and everything that's around you should help you. Your clothes and everything. Everything should help you. no matter what you do. I see that you never know. They produce from inside. They drafted him to the Lakers. Max Christie. Ah, that's right. Yeah, I saw Christie. Uh, you see that nigga that looked like Kobe got drafted? Yeah, Max Christie. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Isn't that Doug Christie's son? Isn't that Doug Christie's son? Yeah. Yeah, I talked about Scottie Pippen's son last night. Actually, last night and 2 nights, he's had pretty decent games. I still don't know where he's going to fit. Um, uh, yeah, that squad is a mess. That squad is a mess. But yeah, they all want to keep the names. Again, I had another vision of the other reality before Magic Johnson's son, and the other reality where they didn't do that to him, and it's just a shame. What this reality lost, that we didn't get to see that guy. It's really a shame. And I can't say, what agreement Magic had to do or not do to let his son be normal and live the experience that he would have had a normal son live. And his son Andre, as far as I know, never was really a hooper, but I don't think Andre's that tall either. Yep, like the Warriors, they had like 5 sons of legend ballers. Yeah, they're not related. The machine maker just pushing the script. Yeah, Magic's son. I had visions of Magic's son being a real hooper. Like he had the other life that was meant for him. It appeared like I got a cut into seeing that, and so he was the real deal. He was that Grant Hill, definitely. In that reality, his game was he's a 6. What is he? 6'7", 6'8". Grant Hill, definitely Grant Hill. And yet we don't get to see that. We are robbed of that experience. I'm so frugal, I save paper towels. If I just wash my hands on them, I know that if I leave them somewhere, they'll dry and they'll be useful again. When we went to Arkansas, we was helping this motherfucker. This motherfucker was saving his tin foil and shit. This motherfucker had a drawer of tin foil. Who saves tin foil? Make a ball out of that shit and kick that shit to the trash can. This nigga was saving their tin foil. That's some shit I used to see in the 60s. Motherfuckers would just make a ball, and then, when they need tin foil, they just take the ball out. Fuck does that shit now. Shaq's son averaged 2 points a game for LSU and UCLA. Yeah, the gay brother. Yep. The gay son. Yep. The gay son. I don't even know. Like, I didn't even look for that kind of thing, and it came to me. I didn't even look for it. I wasn't looking for it, wasn't thinking about it, and just one day the vision hit me. Then it came in the other day again, so it must have wanted me to mention it again. So what you see is not really. They really had to change a lot to make that not happen, and for Magic to give that up wasn't enough to be humiliated. Oh shit! I got to give them water. I don't have a water bottle right here. And I think I cleaned the toilet, so I've been keeping it because they'll drink toilet water. These cats. Oh yeah, I'm about to go. I stayed up to damn near 5 o'clock this morning and got up at 10 or 11. So I got to get them some water. It's super humid up here. It's gonna be 90 again tomorrow. But cool traveling, a lot of traffic, everybody moving around. As I said, motherfuckers don't give a fuck. They're gonna pay anything for gas. That ain't no big deal. Whatever the fucking price it is, we gonna pay that shit. That's the way G's handle shit. You take it on the chin. Just because you take it on the chin don't mean you soft. And even my sons, it went from me whooping their ass to like, nah, nigga, you getting beat up this time. That big old one there, yeah, when he's about, I don't know, but I had to beat his ass one time. It's like, no, this whooping shit ain't getting nowhere. You think you're this, then this is how you gonna get treated. And we had to grapple. I had to grapple with his ass. Like this is you gonna understand me from this point of view. And when I had to do that to him to get him to do shit, he seemed to respect that. And now he's my main man from Japan. He's my main bodyguard. Think he's walking with me? You gonna look at me funny? Anybody? You see us together? You think he's just gonna stand there just beat up that old guy? You really think that? 6'7", 235 of in shape, 20-year-old. You think he's walking with me? Just yeah, I'm not gonna be like that. Imagine he put balls in a hoop instead of putting balls in his mouth. That is golden right there. That's a good joke. That's some stand-up comedy joke right there. The paper towels. Wow, I thought I was the only one. I'd tell harsh. That's funny. That's funny. But now I'd be like, man, paper towels. Like my son is always fucking with my kitchen towels. I was like, got a kitchen towel to dry stuff off, you know. And I've went to the store 10 times and I need some shit for my dishwasher. You know, the little liquid to me, the spots, the soap spots. I keep forgetting to buy the shit. 10 times I've been to the stores. So, yeah. Yeah. So, they know what not to try. Oh, yeah. That's why we was coming in the movies the other night, you know. I don't know, you know, it's like you don't think of yourself as an old dude, you know? Like I fall down. Like when I hit my head, that shit wasn't, you know, fun. Tumbling at this age ain't fun anymore. You know, I was young. I'd fall like I fell the other day and like it ain't shit. Table might have broke. No. No, the table did not break. Table is it's still there. And if you think that story in New York with the old dude defending himself, if you really think first degree murder, that is going to get thrown out. Now, come on, come on. You know, they do not want to go to court. They're going to plead something else. We know the system by now. It sounds good, but we know the system by now. Ain't no jury going to convict that dude of first degree murder because a woman tried to stab him first and then the boyfriend tries to jump on him. And he pulls out a weapon that is legal, supposedly in New York, to defend himself. Which the whole story sounds like propaganda. Well, could be. Ron Harper's son played for Toronto. Yeah, I played pickleball today. I didn't play pickleball like every day the last 4 or 5 days. But yeah, I played pickleball. Me and my best friend played. I went into the cities and we played. They got a nice court. I'll say this. The court I have, I wear the Donovan 3s. Great pickleball shoe. Really is. A great pickleball shoe in every way. But the courts where we played on today, I played on, you know, my third or fourth time. Whatever that tennis stuff is it's like the courts I play on down here, whatever paint they used is not like that paint. Like when I play near my home, when I'm like just sitting there with my shoes ain't just feel gripped in it, you know. It's just not this other stuff. My shoes is just like I just really feel how that the shoe is going to react when I move. I feel more confident of that grip. So much more. The paint, whatever the paint is, and again, this stuff is older. This is an older court than what I play on. The court I played on has only been there a year. But that court, whatever they put on there is better. You can react better. I like that. Because I noticed I was getting, when we started playing, I was getting a little plantar fasciitis trouble. And I'm like, I'm only getting that if I'm really walking on this thing right. I'm thinking, so I saw my man, Tony, stretch. So he stretched and then I stretched. And it's funny, we took pictures of the girls. And I have the pictures. I have a picture before his daughter couldn't walk. My daughter was walking. His daughter didn't walk. They both walked before they was a year. She walked later. She was probably 11 months. My daughter walked like 9, 10 months. But I got a picture where they're at Chunky Cheese, and I know his daughter wasn't walking because my daughter had walked. But I got a picture because he was like, yeah, there's both. No, his daughter wasn't walking then. My daughter was walking. His daughter wasn't. Because before that picture was taken, I had a porch, like all season porch, and we would block it off because it led to the basement or going to the house. And during the day, just let her play, and safety room. And I watched her walk from the couch to the vacuum cleaner because it had the hoses and she shaked the hose, but she walked. And I was like, that's the first time she walked. I was like, damn, she just walked. Because you know how the babies hold on things. But one day she went from the vacuum cleaner, she went from the couch and she walked to the vacuum cleaner and she was pulling on it. And I was like, dang. And then I took her outside, and when her mother came, I was like, watch this. And she started walking outside. And I had to walk her for it, but the thing with the walker outside, she dropped the walker and tried to get a rock. I know that probably wasn't exciting. Been passing out before you come on lately. Oh, it's no bad. I come on so late. I understand. I'm the David Letterman, of the YouTube hours. I like these hours. It seems that this seems to be my little niche. But yeah. I'll say again, what Brother Nick and Fiova. Oh, but again, I'm gonna say this: my son wants to. We're gonna get me. Nick has both you guys have my emails, so hit me up. I want to set a stream where I can get both of you to look. This is nephew Nick, so look, see what nephew got put together, and then you criticize him. Kick him square in his ass. But if he's done a good job, you can say he did a good job. But if he didn't do a good job, then say that he did. We use it for gaming. So, but I'll say, I feel the most positive I felt in a long time. Find more joys in the days. A lot of things are falling into place as should fall into place. And thank you guys, even being technically retarded as I am, back to this phone bullshit. Still, thank you for hanging in there. I appreciate it. I know the channel's not going to grow that great. Now, this is funny. I didn't get but 3 subscribers in the whole month of June. Just 3. They kept me from like 1828 to 18, so maybe 4 or 5. So it's just funny. That is not natural. It's just not natural. But that's okay. This is their thing. They do it. Anyway, I just appreciate it. I try to put this information out and share my adventures. I missed the afternoon stream. Yeah, well, school's out, and now I'll never, unless she's sick or she's got an appointment, no more picking up from school. From now to high school. If she get in high school, she'll start driving. But now it's all bus for her. The end of daddy, the end of responsible daddy hour. And maybe I'll start doing something in the fall. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how all the cards are looking really good. I'm holding a hand, I'm holding a hand. Like if I was playing AC Doocy, I'm throwing doubles every time and I'm moving quickly across the board. You still trying to throw your first doubles, and I done throw doubles after doubles after doubles, and I'm moving across the board with all my chips. My chips is all in your front yard. So yeah, feels good. Feels good for a change. Like the song said, I like movies where the bad guys win every once in a while. You got me going in circles. You got me going round and round like a cloud with the balloon up in the sky. So I like that too. Like you said in Platoon, when he wasn't supposed to leave for a couple more weeks and they cut him out, he's like, oh shit, it was a glitch in the system. The system made a mistake. And the system shot out the paperwork, saved his life. He's like, what? I'm about to go fight and kill these motherfuckers. Wait a minute, you telling me I get to leave 10 days before? Oh, shit, they done made a mistake. It's a glitch. I get to go back home. And here's, this is going to be a very... Do you know how much easier it would have been to fight in World War II for most people compared to having to fight in Vietnam? World War II was well defined who the enemy was. Vietnam, not so much. Vietnam was playing cowboys and Indians with them people. World War II, you knew. When you went to them islands, you know them nasty motherfuckers that come from Japan. When you went up into Europe, you're fighting the Italians and you're fighting mainly the Germans. Vietnam, you didn't know that. They sending you out in the jungle and ain't shit to do, ain't nothing important in the jungle. Killing all them people over nothing. People don't realize that about Vietnam. It's a waste of people. That wasn't necessary other than corporations' greed. That's why Oliver Stone shows at RFK. He talks about Johnson supposedly Kennedy signs 256 to pull troops out in a couple months to de-escalate Vietnam. Kennedy gets killed. They show Johnson 257, Executive Order 257. We send in more. We escalate. And what was the benefit to people? Heroin. Jobs. A lot of jobs during war. War creates a lot of jobs. When this military-industrial complex is moving, like you're seeing now, a lot of jobs. People that make military parts is not doing too bad because it's a lot of that. Contractors. It ain't one company make all the military shit. It's a lot of different companies. Some of this stuff they sending over there, they might be sitting somewhere, but some of this stuff they might have to put it together. So consider that. That's how hard those people had it. It was never meant for them to win. That's the craziness. They had a war where it was never meant for them to win. There was really no real objective. When the objective of war is to take the other country's capital. There was never that objective. The French lived in Hanoi. We just bombed it. Never sent troops there. And it wasn't until the end of the war that Nixon said he was going to bomb the train tracks where he was getting his shit from China, and he was going to put mines and encircle Hamping Harbor where the Russians were sending shit for their proxy war. Then the Vietnamese said, hey, you do all that, y'all gonna really fuck us up. So we're gonna agree to stop. I said before, don't give that country a pass either. That General Giap, you may study him in history, but he would allow massive amounts of his people to get killed. And if you study Vietnam, you study the Tet Offensive, the Tet Offensive wiped out the Viet Cong. So how was that a good strategy? Where you wipe out part of your army. You wipe out your main army group this is who the grassroots of the fighters are. So they purposely did that so the North would be the only ones fighting. So Tet was planned as a way to get rid of the Viet Cong. And that's one part of communism. They never trust their own people. Because if the Viet Cong was the one to defeat America, the Viet Cong would have still had a power in the South, if you understand. And communism tends not to like that. They didn't want the Viet Cong to be part of the negotiations for peace because they would probably have a say in the government. So they found a way to get rid of them. And the problem was in Vietnam was people was mad at the soldiers, not understanding the soldiers as pawns. That's why you see in Hamburger Hill, he told the brother just feel proud that he made it to jump school. He just wants to wear his ribbons and his braids and his jump boots at his hometown to show people he did something. And what did the European dude tell him? Don't wear your uniform. It's an embarrassment. People protesting. People going to hate you for their uniform. But the thing that when they drafted him, the thing that he was supposed to feel proud about, that he's representing the country. And that's the problem that a lot of brothers had in World War II, and I've spoke about that in World War I. You risk everything, and you come back in your own neighborhood, your own city. The same old Jim Crow bullshit. So how are you risking your life for that when it didn't benefit you? especially the soldiers in World War One. 300,000 melanated people fought in World War One. And not only that, and then go to try to kill them. You're so scared of these people that are used to killing Europeans, World War One and World War Two. They killed a lot of those veterans, especially World War One. Lynched. If you was a World War One veteran and you in the South wearing your uniform, you would get killed. And the government had a watch list. They were scared of these people. These people were used to fighting back. You think they wanted that in the Jim Crow South in 1919? So the Red Summer, they went after these military veterans. And I've talked about this before, but this is what they've done. Just look this up and you see it's plain, it's clear. And they did the same thing in World War II. That's not spoke about as much, but they did the same thing in World War II. As I said, my relative, he's one of the first Green Berets. The only one to survive an overrun. All this training. And we supposed to believe that a regular cop got the drop on him? This man with all this training. And yeah, the emotions of civil rights and everything. Apparently he did have a gun. But even driving up, he would see the cops there. He would be known to get behind cover. If you bring your car out, you ain't going to stand in the open. If you bring, you bring your gun up, you're not going to stand in the open where a cop is, where a cop just get out of his car and fire at you. He's not trained like that. He's trained, get out of his car, find cover, which is behind your car, not to stand out in front. So, but this was done. This was systematically done. That's why they really feared the Panthers that had the military background. They really feared them. A lot of times they tried to get them to be agents. And I'm just only pausing because, we look back and you think all the hippie movements and all these different movements for the ones that are interested in that culture was so free and so rebellious, but they were rebellious under the government. The government had agents in every aspect of this rebellion. I found information that says the hippies was created by the government in some ways. The counterculture, as they used to call it. It was called the counterculture. In some ways, had ties with the government. We know LSD, definitely. And who was taking the LSD? The hippies. So you got to understand history. If you understand history, and this thing has to be in everything. None of it does it leave to chance. Just like I was saying with all these Klans institutions, in North Carolina, 70% of them are run by FBI informants. So the government's hand in this. That's why I know the government's hand in overthrowing the melanated people that were governing the South. Some of these, I would say, now this is one attack, definitely Jesuit-led in the South. They riled up the people that were the poor white trash, and they armed them. That's what was done after the Civil War. Jim Crow was a war. It wasn't just apartheid. It was also a war. Now, it wasn't a lot of blood, a lot of massacres. I mean, again, the Punch Bowl, how they damn near killed and starved and diseased 20,000 melanated troops that fought for the North. Didn't hear them stories about the melanated troops that fought for the South. The most famous story about a melanated, he was a captain. And they're like stunned. And there's a picture of this cat. There's a picture of this captured melanated soldier. And they're like, why are you fighting? And he looked at him and says, because you are here, sir. Because you are here on my land. That is why I'm fighting. Here, let me paint a picture. And I've been fucking with the screenplay a little bit. I really want you to paint a picture of understanding really what slavery was. So you have these skills. Say, in a lot of ways, you can be a blacksmith, and say you can do woodwork, but say you got several skills. You actually could go to several different plantations and get contracts to work for these people. And as I said about the one politician, you live there with him, he helps you get these jobs, you go to these jobs, you get to keep money, and you give him a little bit of money. That's what they do. That sharecropping was prevalent before the Civil War, prevalent. The melanated people had wide spreads of sharecropping. It was efficient. You believe they just had slaves just out there? No, it was never that. That's not that efficient. Waking up just one thing. No. The motherfucker growing his own shit, he's going to be more productive than you forcing people to go out there. Doesn't make sense though. If you think about it, it just doesn't make sense. You had sharecropping in large numbers. Again, I'm the only one that says 90% of the skilled labor leading up to the Civil War was melanated people. And you thinking all of them get hit with whips and shit and families taken away? They want you to believe the other stuff. The Uncle Tom's Cabin, buck breaking. You know, that's a newer thing too. That buck breaking shit they try to talk about with slavery, that's new. That's new. That's some more shit they add into the story to humiliate people. But they don't want to talk about the true crime. The true crime that was Jim Crow. It was apartheid. No different. Same thing as apartheid. And backed by probably Jesuits and wealthy Northerners that's all benefiting the poor white trash people taking over the government instead of the brothers. Putting the unions in the South, pushing out all the skilled labor and making them all the skilled labor. And then doing the inefficient way of sharecropping by being cheated. Can't speak out. Jail everybody because they ain't got a job. Jail everybody because they don't have a job. Pass laws that say you gotta have a job. If you don't have a job, we can arrest you for loitering. And once we arrest you, you're gonna do 90 days. Do you see how that's more slavery than this bullshit they tell you the other thing was? As I've said many times, I'm the only one. Jim Crow was worse than slavery. Worse, way worse system. You didn't see us locked up in mass numbers like that before during slavery. That's why the little like the book 12 Years a Slave, you kind of get the idea of how he's hired up. You know, they don't want to tell the full story, but you get the idea that he's working independent and he was in high demand. His skill was so good in the book. He was in high demand, always working out. This really tastes good. I didn't ate this one up today, but it's good. A little darker tobacco. Still tastes sweet. It's a shame though. The damn drugs I take. My mouth gets so fucking. Now here's a panic attack for you. If I don't do the cigars, I have to have mints because the medicine I take, it just one of the side effects that gives me dry mouth. So I'm playing pickleball the other day. I don't have my mitts. My water is at a table, and I'm just, I'm trying not to trip out. I'm trying not to have an anxiety attack because, I'm drying the motherfucker. It's hot in the motherfucker out here. And, we're like just starting damn near mid-game. And, I just got my composure. It's like I can still breathe, which I could. I wasn't struggling breathing, but it was like this dryness. But this is, I want to tie this into how, anxiety can take over something like that. You can keep making yourself think, well, damn, my throat is getting, you can just concentrate on that so much that it would shut off on you, because you get in a fear and a panic mode. But if you just say, okay, this is uncomfortable, I forgot my shit, but I'll be okay, So that's how you have to, take it easy on yourself. Instead of going into panic mode, take a minute, take a breath, reapproach whatever it is you're seeing. uh, but I like to just share the good times with you guys and the good feelings and the high vibrations. I just like to share that, and I hope I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to say victimization. It's not like that. I just you have to look into history to understand the now. That's all. And everything should come back is what does that mean to me? What does that mean to me? I know that, but what does that mean to me? Oh, let me tell you. We had the big. Oh my goodness! I wish I would have kind of went to the local festival. You talking about cowgirls with boots and Daisy Dukes? I was driving my daughter home through the town, and everybody's walking because it's to the park ain't really far. It's not really far. It's yeah, from the main downtown, it's not far, and everybody's like walking, and all these women wearing Daisy Dukes. It's nice up here, and they're going to this festival. I'm like, damn! I'll tell my son, you missed out. It would have been a great day. I mean, there's a lot of that country music stuff, yes. But people watching, it looked like this would have been a people watching day to see Daisy Dukes and cowgirls. Definitely a day to watch cowgirls. So just driving, I was like, whoa, whoa, all these young, healthy, pretty women. So man, might have missed out there. Whether but I mentioned that because the fold service around here sucks now because so many people. Yesterday they had 16, 18,000 people. I'm sure they have the same amount today, and everybody, more people are pulling. I mean, this is a community of roughly 3,000 people, so all of a sudden there's 16,000 people. So the 5G, this 5G ain't shit like y'all. I noticed when I was driving around my Sirius. Um, Looped a couple times when I got like near downtown. I hadn't did it. And when I came, when I was coming from the city, it hadn't done it. When I was coming from Minneapolis, it hadn't done it. So I was like, you know. And then my daughter was trying to call her mom, and she was seeing that shit. It was like, can't get through. That's what her mom said. So Larry Bird overrated. We talked about that before. I mean, you got to give Larry Bird what's his. He had 3 good seasons. Really, he had 5 good seasons. You got to give him that 5 good seasons. You got to also give that he revolutionized the game. As I said, prior to Magic and Larry Bird, the NBA players in both leagues was so efficient, whoever got the ball scored. So you saw very little ball movement except teams like the Celtics. The Celtics was always emphasizing, but even at one point, they brought in scorers. But the NBA it was just that efficient. Everybody was that good. Whoever got the ball made a move, he scored. That was the NBA prior to Magic and Bird. Both of their type of games wanted to involve everybody. And even though they both had the skill to be efficient and score themselves, just the way they learned, they got joy out of pushing the pace because the game had become a slower pace game. I mean, even if you looked at like the 75 team of New York, how they would pass the ball around, it was still a slow game. I mean, they would still run down court, everybody set up, and then they would start passing it. It wasn't push the ball up, the game that Larry Bird and Magic Johnson put in. And the pride in passing, that had went away. There was no pride in passing. It was more of a pride of a dominant player just dominating. I mean, the guys that was in Magic class, Leon Guyton, Jay Vincent, I mean, these were guys that dominated until they faced Magic, but they dominated everybody else. I mean, Guyton went to Central Michigan. Jay Vincent won the championship with Magic at Michigan State. He played a couple years after Magic. Jay Vincent, very similar size to Spencer Haywood. Very similar game. Probably not as dominant rebounder, but very similar game now I think back about it. Sam Vincent's brother, Jay. They both made it, into the league. Another brother y'all might remember, Kevin Smith, went to UAD. I don't know if Kevin played pro. or Detroit Mercy, they call it now. Nick Taylor probably know about Detroit Mercy. How long I've been going? Oh, damn near 2 hours. Yeah, that's probably enough. I'm gonna sleep in tomorrow for sure. So, um, yeah. So just give my little rendition for everybody of positive energy. And so first, as you go into your creation ball field, that they tricked you into saying that you're in a bed. You're actually in a ball field of wonder that can move through space time as you lay there. I know people that struggle. They really struggle. Like if they lay in bed for 8 hours and they don't fall asleep and they toss and turn, not really understanding that just laying there for 8 hours you'll benefit from it. A lot of people don't understand and they worry, but just laying there for 6 hours, you'll benefit. It'll refresh you, go to sleep or not. You just lay there, do nothing. You will get rested. And understand that things attacking your dreams, you can get rid of all that. First by recognizing that it is a dream. And then, as I've said before, the things around you when you rest should be things that work for you. Whatever colors, textures, all that. Activate it. Ask that. It protects you as you rest. Even curtains. And love just is. Love is supreme. Love has no equal. And so I'll give the time walking words of Mora. It all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland, yet they knew that they had exact numbers of years and days before they would disappear as a culture and a lifestyle. But the civilization would build to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the great serpent, which is the Milky Way. That is the way they moved through space time of this reality. They looked at it as a serpent, and we had to move through the serpent. So everything these planets they call was a different type, a different, archon of the serpent that you move through. So, and in closing, the words of Lazarus Long or Robert Hyland: "The days are long, but the years are short." The moment is all we have. Well, y'all, as Patti LaBelle would say, I ain't got no more. uh, 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 I know you know about Nagal Night. I think so. That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. I get attacked in my sleep, and you get sleep paralysis. Yeah. As I said before, a couple things you can do is sage is a great thing. Sage can kind of push energies. You do it right. You just take the sage in each corner. You get the top corner and you get the bottom corner. You get behind the dressers, under the bed, and that's enough. I think it's really key. If there's any must-have crystals, you put selenite in windows because energies can come in the windows. Again, you can do a spell on your curtains that can protect that as well. But if you haven't mastered how to do that, it's not going to really work. But selenite in your windows will keep energies out of your windows. Very effective, very cheap. You can get a big old stick this big, and you can get a little saw or a knife, and you can cut these little pieces. Another thing that works very good is you put these, you create a vortex in your room. These are apatite. No, yeah, oh, yeah, apatite. Or no, these are apopolites. Same crystal. You put these in your corners, and actually, I put these in the corners, and I put this black kyanite in the corners too. And that kind of stuff will never mess with you. And that's one thing the crystals will. I can almost 100% guarantee that this kind of thing will get rid of that. Because that little thing that's that big, it makes it. It's funny. You get in there, and the thing wants to show you it's big, because it'll want to be on you, and it want to be tall as you or big as you. And when reality, you both are in the dream screen, so you both are little in reality. But that's the illusion it tries to give you. And it wants you to think that you feel pressure from it to put you into an anxiety attack. because you can go into an anxiety attack in your dreams. The dream can make you anxious, and that's where that thing wins. That's what it thrives on. It wants to give you an anxiety attack while you sleep, and then it feeds off your fears, like the shit that want to chase you in your dreams. If you're running from some shit in your dreams, don't run no more. Ask the motherfucker what it wants. Like, motherfucker, what do you want? Because if you keep running, it's gonna keep chasing you. They like those games. They like that game. Like, oh, I got it. But what are you doing today? Man, I'm going into Steve's dream, and I'm chasing that motherfucker from here to Denver. Like, he ain't got it yet, huh? No, this motherfucker still likes being chased. I don't think he like it, but I'm chasing the shit out of him. He runs every time. You ain't got to run. Shit come and ask that shit what he want. And don't think it ain't sitting on you. That's the trick it wants to do, to make you think it's sitting on you and make you anxious in your dream. Like in the Matrix, when they get beat up and shit, they're bleeding and shit in the real life and shit. It ain't that. It ain't that. The dream ain't that. Where, in the Matrix, you're getting the shit bit out of you and your body's feeling it. Dream, you ain't feeling none of that. Motherfucker ain't on your chest. It's just, again, trying to release that adrenaline of fear, so it can feed. That's all it is. It's trying to feed. It's feeding on the fear. Like I say, when it's chasing you, it's feeding. You quit running, it ain't gonna feed no more. If you understand how it works. Really become addicted to these. But they serve a purpose. So, thank y'all. Popalite and selenite crystals, yeah. I tried to fight it, but it's strong. I seen a lady put salt around our building. We were looking at her crazy. Yeah, that's an old one. That's an old one. He was from, what was this now? He was from Detroit and played at the University of Dayton Flyers. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I remember that name. Oh, yeah. And the other dude played for Dayton was Big O's son, Oliver. Oliver played for Dayton too. He was around the G League for years. But remember when Oliver played? I went to the police academy. His daddy, Oliver, played for Dayton a few years back when they had that tournament run, won a couple games. Yeah. What was Big O's first name? I don't think the son was a junior, but their last name was Oliver. And he was a cat, nice size cat. It's about 6'5", 250, big hooper. I used to give him that work, though. We would play full court 1-on-1, and I would just give him work. Even just regular hooping. But then we won the 3-on-3 at Western. But yeah, Oliver. What is his first name? Their last name's Oliver. I can't think of his first name. His dad's first name. But Oliver. You probably knew Oliver, too. Because he played at Dayton. I tried to fight it, but it's too strong. Don't fight. Don't fight. You don't fight it. That's feeding into it if you fight it. First of all, you can again ask you, what do you want? What do you want? Jimmy Williams. That's what I would ask it. Jimmy Williams passed. Give me some reference, Jimmy Williams. Give me some reference to who he is. So don't fight it. Don't fight it. That's the thing. They feed on fear. So if you fight it, they're gonna feed. Don't feed it. The one thing that you think that your fight or flight mechanism comes in, that's feeding it. And it's almost to the point like, damn, I don't want to play today. It's almost like that. You can be like, I don't want to play. Because it wants to play. That's play to them. Scaring you is playing. It ain't trying to kill you. It can't kill you. It can't kill you. That's all it can do. What it's doing is all it can do. If you think it's sitting on your chest and you laboring, that's the worst. It can't put its hand over your mouth and stop the air coming. It's all got to be mental. So, Devin Oliver, Devin Oliver, that's Big O's son. Yep, Devin Oliver. I couldn't remember his name. He was in the G Leagues for a minute. But yep, that's Big O's. I went to the police academy with his dad. His dad retired, because the Kalamazoo cops had to be firemen too. Yep, he worked cop for when Devin was making that run, they interviewed him. They have a daughter with Down syndrome. Now I think about it too. I think Big O and his wife have a daughter, because he was married then. We was in the police academy. I want to say Big O was married, and his wife either played volleyball or she played basketball. She was taller too at the time. They both went to Western Michigan. Because their coach, that was one of the few teams that recruited me for basketball. And my college coach, or my high school coach, like, they wanted me to bring me over. And he told them, I had signed my letter of intent, but back then I couldn't go to other schools in the MEAC. It didn't stop me from looking at other schools. But he told the coach I wasn't interested. Just like the same basketball coach used to steal my letters from schools. Wouldn't give them to me. Wouldn't give them to anybody. We had to go to the fucking school board on his ass. Start getting their fucking letters. So, well, my cat's is out of water. I got to give him some water. It's humid. So, tomorrow night, I think so. So, this has been your friend. Thank you. Trust I've been through that. Good. I can't talk. I can only think when I'm getting attacked. Okay. Think. But don't think fear. Don't think fear. Again, the way most people I help look at it is looking at it as small. That's the only way I can tell you is look at it as something small. And so, but you can think. Yeah, you can think. Right. Wapo said it. You can think. Yeah. Mine were sent to the house. Mine was sent to the house. Okay. Next time, mention Jesus. Mention Jesus. All right. Well, be safe, PJ. Everybody be safe out there as you go to tomorrow. And, you start preparing to work next week or whatever your routine is. But hope I gave some helpful information. Try to be honest as I could. So, quantify it. Try to be honest. Quantify it. So, y'all, this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I've been your host, Big Pontiac. Oh, this motherfucker wanted to say some shit. What you got to say? Because I saw you 2 videos ago, you was smiling different to me. Yeah, no, motherfucker, you was smiling different. I caught it. I don't know if they caught it, but I caught it. So you keep one smile. Quit changing smiles in the videos. You're freaking the people out. So what else you got to say? Okay. What does that mean to me? No, you can't have nothing to drink. Where am I going to put it? Where are you going to drink it? How? How does that work for you? You think I'm just going to hold the beer up here? You want to smell the bottle or something? Now, I'll open the bottle and let you smell it. You might get some bubbles and shit. That might help. But I'm not going to sit here and pour beer on you. I mean, what is that going to do for you? See how you introduce the guest host and they want to take over the show? Don't get that. Till we meet again, say less.